Hello and welcome to WhyZ, and in this quick video, we are going to talk about Attack on Titan Season 4 Part 2 Episode number 3 titled The Two Brothers. But before actually beginning this episode, I need to say that I'm getting very excited because we are inching closer to that epic moment. It's getting really exciting, and this particular episode adapted two specific chapters, almost the entirety of chapter 119 and pretty much about 60 to 70% parts of chapter 120, and only the bits with Eren's actual memories were left behind, and they are going to be incorporated as a whole as a singular episode for the next one. So I feel like this episode, adaptation wise, was absolutely perfect, even though for the first time in this season I have some complaints. I mean, this is the first episode which I did not like in its entirety. I had some problems in the first part, which I will shortly get into. I'm not going to bitch about it a lot, as I've already said. But the first half, or specifically the first couple of 5 to 10 minutes, were not really up to my liking as much. But it seems as if the animators, saved everything for the second half, because it was just gorgeous. It's almost straight out of my imagination, as if the pages which I imagined in my mind just came true. So yeah, this was absolutely perfect. But nevertheless, hello and welcome to WhyZ, and thank you so much for joining in. If you're new here, then please consider subscribing to our channel, because I do weekly anime and manga related content along with a bunch of other stuff. With that being said, let's proceed with the actual video. So here, the episode pretty much begins with Zeke, who has fallen down after the attacks of Peak and the others. And here, as I said before, the first half of this episode really reminded me a lot about WhyZ Studio. I mean, specifically because of the 3D maneuvering kit. There's a magic with the way in which WhyZ Studio adapted the 3D maneuvering gears, the maneuvering gears. Here, it sort of looked very plain and very uninteresting. I don't know what the animation technology or whatever terminology is actually used here, but it felt really dull. It's as if there's no life force in it. The early days of Attack on Titan really focused a lot on these maneuvering gears, and the action, the choreography, the storyboarding, everything was just absolutely perfect. Here it sort of felt dull in a way, and it really didn't feel consequential overall. The same goes for Eren's Attack Titan and how it was being beaten down by Falco in the beginning. Specifically the Jaws Titan, how it was trying to stop Eren from going towards to meet Zeke. Now here the CG looked really jarring, almost to the point where it really reminded me of the early days or the early episodes of Attack on Titan Season 4 Part 1. Weirdly enough, funnily enough, in this particular episode, at least for the first part, the Beast Titan looked much better than the Attack Titan and the Jaws Titan and even the Armored Titan. But it was just a small gripe because it really changes fast towards the second half of this episode. But nevertheless, Eren just smacks the Jaws Titan out of harm's way, and Falco is just obliterated. His face is just almost destroyed. Reiner tries his best to take down Eren, to stop Eren from meeting the Beast Titan so that they can stop the Founder from actually gaining its true powers, because their assumption here is absolutely correct here at this moment. The Founding Titan needs the power of the royal blood in order to actually unleash its true potential, and that was the plan of Zeke Yeager and Eren Yeager throughout the starting phase. But what's really interesting here is that Colt arrives onto the scene along with Falco, and he has a really good heart-to-heart discussion with none other than Zeke, specifically because Zeke is sort of his mentor, and at the same time Colt is the next inheritor of the Beast Titan. So he pleads Zeke to stop the scream, to stop roaring at this moment. He's not saying him to stop the battle, he's not telling him to stop killing the other people. He's just like, you had a promise, we had a promise, please let me save my younger brother, please let him just get out of the harm's way, just let him get out of your radius of scream so that he's not affected by your spinal fluid. After that you can just let the Marlians, or aliens kill themselves. I don't really care about this. And Gabby also arrives onto the scene, but it is up to no avail. Zeke has already made up his mind. He says that this is really a pity, but what can even be done here? He starts to scream. But before all of this is actually happening here, Peak and General Magan also try to take down Eren once and for all, but their plans are halted in the very last moment by Armin and Mikasa. And here they are looking absolutely fabulous. Props to Mappa for these gorgeous animation and art style. I mean, as I said before, I really have a problem with the way the 3D maneuvering kits are actually animated here, but it's just a nitpick of mine. It's not as if it's affecting the entirety of this episode. Beyond these small gripes, I felt like the entire episode was actually pretty good. But nevertheless, Zeke finally screams, and this segment was just gorgeous. I wish Mappa reduced the bit of yellow light actually used here, or the yellow filter which is used here. Barring that, this was a perfect recreation of the scene, the music, the tension, the build-up. It was just gorgeous, and how we see everyone from Dot Pixis to all the other characters who ingested the spinal fluid of Zeke just having their last moments, their skin, their vessels just forming up, and they finally transform into the mindless titans. Even the Marlians are absolutely shit scared about all of these things, and it's just a shit show. It's just a shit show which is going on here. And at the same time, Colt dies. Of course he's dead because Falco transforms into a mindless titan. Now his mindless titan, it's obviously a major foreshadow for what is about to happen in the future, but at the same time I just find his mindless titan to be one of the most hilarious looking and absurd looking ones. It was obviously a foreshadow by ECM for what is going to happen next, but whenever I see this particular mindless titan, I just feel weird because all the other titans whom we have seen so far, they look relatively normal, but his titan is just absolutely one of the most weirdest one out there. And with this, Colt is dead, Gabby is in disbelief, and Zeke finally orders Falco to go and eat Reiner. Now here Reiner is having basically a midlife crisis. He's trying to punch down Eren in anger, he's just trying to punch everyone down, but at the same time he's just worried and just given up. On one hand he's trying to put down Eren, and on the other hand he's just trying to put down the mindless titan of Falco, but he's just tired of all this bullshit. He's like, we are almost there, we have almost accomplished our mission. Is it time for me to let go? Because Falco is trying to chow down on Reiner's nape, and he feels like it's about time that he should let go. He looks on to Gabby and he's like, if I can't come back, I want you to go back with Falco, so that's why I might allow Falco to do this one. But just before all of this actually went down, he was trying to wake up Porco, and as a result of it, somehow their memories synced up, and the memory of Porco's brother, including all the other children, was somehow shared to Porco. And this scene made everything. This scene gave way to everything, because here Porco got to know what exactly went on, why was he not selected in the first half, and how his brother actually wanted to save him. And because of all of these things, he mustered up the courage. He somehow managed to heal his body, come in front of everyone, and just ordered to save Reiner. He just screamed at Falco's mindless titan, and the mindless titan came and just ate Porco. And his last words was that it's a reminder to everyone, I saved Reiner, I was better than him in the end. It's just a playful tease on his part, but that basically marks the end of Porco, and now Falco is becoming the new Jaws Titan. And guess what he's going to become? I mean, this particular form of his mindless titan is definitely a major giveaway, but I'd like to ask the anime only fans to guess what is going to be his special feature or special power. I know he's the Jaws Titan, but is he going to have some specialty? Please do mention your thoughts in the comment section below. But nevertheless, what happens next is interesting because, oh, Gabby. I mean, I understand from where she's coming and her point of view as well, and I'm absolutely glad that a lot of the anime only fans have actually stopped the unnecessary hate towards Gabby. I mean, I really do not like this character, but I understand where she comes from, but a lot of the time unnecessary hatred is thrown around for her. But what basically happens here is that Eren leaves the captivity after his titan is brought down by Reiner. He just escapes using the hardening, and he is in his human form at this moment. He's running towards Zeke, and Zeke also used the same technique which Peak utilized a couple of moments back, wherein he's using the carcass of his titan as sort of a hiding plot, a sort of a hiding space. but it is noticed by none other than Gabby and the Deus Ex Machina that she is. I mean, yeah, this has to be a Deus Ex Machina. I understand the character of Gabby, I understand what she's doing, where she's coming from, but the actions which she actually takes here and which she has actually been taking so far, she is just a plot device, nothing more than that. Isayama was not able to build her properly at this moment, I feel like that. And as a Deus Ex Machina, she just has the gun and she takes a perfect snipe at the head of Eren. Eren is decapitated, but in a very weird twist of fate, Zeke's actual baseball training comes to the rescue because he's able to catch Eren's decapitated head at the very last moment before Eren actually dies. Again, it is a bit of a Deus Ex Machina, but it's played well because, hey, Zeke was after all a baseball player. He practiced it all along. It's as if someone put down this memory in the paths. Wink wink. Was this all a very big plan? Yeah, we're gonna talk about that and see about it very soon. But now we get a very beautiful panel. It's sort of like a one-to-one adaptation from the manga because we see panels of everyone in their current state, and this is beautiful. Even the 3D Titans, the CGI ones, look really beautiful in this particular frame. In the still frame, Reiner is in action, Mikasa looks stunning, she looks beautiful. Armin, Zeke and all the other characters, they are just stunned here because the path moment's finally happening. Although the people outside won't be able to understand what's going on at this moment, they will obviously understand the aftermath of it definitely, but for now, what's happening is happening inside the paths dimension. We see an older Zeke who is chained down. Now here we understand what exactly is going on here. It is the paths dimension. I'm probably gonna make a follow-up video talking about the paths dimension in itself because I don't want this video to be an explainer, a longer video to be an explainer in the form of it. But what's basically happening here is that they both are currently in the paths dimension and Zeke is chained down. They have a moment of confrontation. Eren is basically talking about his point of view. Zeke is talking about his point of view, and Eren notices that Zeke is inside the chains. Somehow he's chained up, to which Zeke replies that this is because of the influence of the first king and his no war policy. But soon enough they come face to face with Ymir, the founder Ymir, and this is perhaps Eren's first time meeting her actually in this particular timeline. And Eren is like, okay, this is Ymir, are you sure about it? And Zeke is like, of course, she's the one who saved me, who molded my actual body. And after all of this, Eren finally talks about his true plan, wherein he says that it was a plan of my own all along. In order to reach to the paths dimension, I never wanted to go forward with your idiotic plan. I have a plan of my own. And to all of this, Zeke also reveals that he knew this all along. He just made up these chains because of the powers of the founding titan, and he sort of knew that this is going to be, but he just wanted to know the actual point of view of Eren, and that's why he constructed all of these things. And to which we finally see how Ymir comes to Zeke naturally because she is bound by the founding family, by the powers of the royal family. And this basically starts off the confrontation between the two brothers, when Zeke says that Eren's mind has been tainted by the blood of their father, and it is all because of a bad influence of their father. And now they're finally about to go down into the memory lane, but that memory scene is not specifically happening here in this particular episode. It's going to be saved for the next one. So yeah, that is pretty much everything which happens in this particular episode titled The Two Brothers. It was really a very beautiful one in my opinion, and I might do a follow-up video talking about the paths dimension in itself. Although I have some major complaints for the first half, but I feel like MAPPA really made up for it in the second half. There are some absolutely gorgeous wallpaper material shots here in this particular episode, and as we have seen in the past, the eyes look beautiful. Some of these shots are really legit wallpaper material. But that's it for this quick video. What do you guys think about all of these things? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below.